Well, thanks for still staying with us here on the AM show. We talk about good news if you sat for the entrance exams, the law school entrance exam, then you would know that over 1,000 students passed, unlike what happened in last year where we had less than 200 of the students passing that exam, or a little over that figure. Well, it's massive pass this year. We want to get down and speak to some students and find out, what this makes them feel. Joining us on Zoom for a conversation on the back of this, over 1,000 students passing the School of Law entrance examinations. I've got some guys joining me via Zoom now. Philemon is the SLC president, Ghana School of Law. Good morning, Philemon. Good to see you. Philemon,
good morning, Mama V.
Okay, great. Kweku is a law student, faculty student. Good morning to you, Kweku. If you can hear me, say hello to me. Hi, Kweku. If you can hear me, can I hear your head? Okay, great.
Hi.
Okay, good.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Prosper, let me say good morning to Prosper and congratulations to you. You sat for that exam and you got in.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, great, Prosper. I was just saying congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me go to Kweku, because I guess for any student who is in law school, at least the faculty who wants to enter Makola, as we put it, this will be good news to you. What does it say to you, even though you haven't written that exam yet?
Well, it is. One fear for many law students is that you would pass through 4 years of legal education and then be denied the opportunity to take the professional course. And we often ask ourselves the question that, what are we going to do with, the degree? So it is good news. However, even though the pass rate is up by 23%, it is still indicative that there exists a problem. And the problem is there are still people who would not enter. And by virtue of that, people still fail. And there is a chance that people will fail. So it's good news, yes, it ought to be celebrated. Yes, that's true. But there is more that ought to be done.
Let me come to you, Philemon, because you fought through this, and I wonder how you see this. Is this victory? Is this still work in progress?
Right, Mama V, first of all, I think this is a victory we take with some bit of caution. Caution because the reforms we ask for are sweeping. The reforms we ask for is not a 1-year admission of 1,045 students. We're asking for an overhaul, not an overhaul per se, but a general reform in legal education. You recall that students have engaged robustly over the years to make sure that the reforms are seen in the Ghana School of Law and for those who want to enter the Ghana School of Law. So this is just one part of what we've been calling for. And as much as we are thankful for it, our position remains that reforms must be across board.
Well, let's just quickly go over some of these reforms again. Are you calling for no entrance exam at all?
We're asking that every LLB person be given the opportunity to partake in the professional law course at the Ghana School of Law. That is our position. We do not understand that a system should exist for people to have LLB degrees and be denied the opportunity to go on to become lawyers. Statistically, we have very few lawyers in this country. We have retreated, and those in power have said over and over again that the Attorney General's Department, which is the highest employer of lawyers in this country, is limited in the number of lawyers it has. Go into the regions, Upper East, Upper West, Northern Region, Northeast. Go down and see the Attorney General's Department is seriously understaffed. It is a police service that is playing the complementary role of prosecuting on behalf of the state. So already there's a problem. There's the need for lawyers. All lawyers are mainly, Accra alone is just made up of about 80% of lawyers in this country. Go into the regions, there are no lawyers. Access to justice is a problem. So we think that the legal profession should be opened up such that people that have LLBs are able to pursue and achieve their career ambition of becoming lawyers.
Just hold it there for me, Philemon. Let me bring Prosper into this conversation. Prosper, we have a better connection now. Good morning to you again, and congratulations to you. You got in, but I guess there are friends of yours, mates of yours who sat with you through that exams who are not going with you to the next stage. What's the general sentiment?
Yes, from where I come from, University of Ghana, I think a number of people made it. I dare say almost the entire class, but just a few. But people are generally elated, people are delighted. I think the efforts and the input that stakeholders have been making over the last year have sort of yielded some results. So this is something that people really clap hands for. Yeah.
And let me come back to you, Kweku and Philemon, because Kweku, you're yet to write this exam. What are you hoping to see next year? That there will be an improvement of this, or, you know, because we're all waiting to see like 100% entry, not that we will make this this progress, but we'll still have a lot more people who are not able to make it.
Exactly. That's what we are hoping for, because it's quite frustrating, and it is quite ironic that the institutions that train people to secure and protect justice has inherently injustice reigning within its walls. It would be very good for everybody with an LLB to pass through and take the professional course and possibly be called to the bar. But the problem here has to do with maintaining standards, as well as making sure that students are satisfied with the system. So where do we strike the balance between maintaining the standards of lawyers we are producing in the country and ensuring more students, take the exam? But hopefully, next year, we hope that people are not frustrated. People are not frustrated unduly. People have the opportunity to take the course and be called to the bar. How called to lower the standards of the legal profession.
Okay,
in the country, because the fact that the numbers are low, or the fact that we agitate for it, should not.
Philemon, I also want to talk to you about what could possibly happen next year, because you are at the professional level, so you appreciate what goes on there. Not everybody who goes to the professional school comes out. So if people continue to fail, even at the professional level, it will be difficult to allow freshers into the professional school.
Yes, right. In the Ghana School of Law, there's a backlog of people that had entered as far back as 2013 who are still in the school. But I must comment that there's a certain new way of leadership in the Ghana School of Law. Our new director, Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyeman, has proven to be one of our strongest allies we can have, and he's quite progressive in his thoughts. But you see, before we even go into what could happen next year, let's consider the fact that as far as 1045 is a good thing, we have thousands of students out there with LLBs, and even many more who are still in the faculties or be churned out. What exactly is the concrete plan going forward? Would we admit 1,000 students every year? Would we open up access to allow the faculties to train more people? What is the sustainable way of training lawyers as we go into the future? These are questions we must have. These are conversations we must have. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like as of yet there's anything concrete. We are still open as a National Association of Law Students, as the SRC of the Ghana School of Law, to engage all stakeholders, because we want a policy, we want a sustainable plan, a workable plan that allows for progressive reforms in legal education in this country. 1045 in 1 year is not enough to solve the problems that law students face in this country. What we need is general reforms. When you come to the Ghana School of Law, we have our own problems. Like you rightly said, it doesn't seem very smooth. The transition in and out of the school doesn't seem very smooth. We have situations where if you felt that your paper is unjustly marked, you'd have to pay as much as 1,500 cedis to have your paper remarked. We think that is something that must change. We have students who have gone to other Commonwealth jurisdictions to train as lawyers, who come back and want to be called to the Ghana bar and to undergo a 9-month training, paying as much as £6,000. That again is something we find way too high, and we hope that as we engage in the coming days, those in power listen to us. I think that we must begin to appreciate the fact that the concerns that students have raised over the years have been genuine concerns. There have been concerns that go to the core of our being and ambitions to become lawyers in this country. So we are very thankful for the new way of leadership that the General Legal Council and the Ghana School of Law is experiencing. But fundamentally, our position remains that reforms is something we must attend to.
Well, thankfully, we're in the electioneering period, and we've had the political parties, at least the two major political parties, say something. So, in effect, I'm asking, who should address the concerns of law students in Ghana? Is it the political?
Mama, via opposition, we reacted. The National Association of Law Students reacted to the campaign promises of the two political parties on legal education. If you would indulge me, the MPP's position in their manifesto was that they were going to increase infrastructure as a means of addressing the annual crisis of legal education. The NDC's position is that they are going to allow for the faculties to train lawyers as a means of. We think that infrastructure is not an imminent problem. And the fact that they have admitted 1045 this year is indication that infrastructure is not an imminent problem in the fight for legal education reforms in this country. So we are cautious. We are not a partisan organization. We do not subscribe to any political ideal, but we only subscribe to the color that adds to the flavor of legal education in this country. And that includes the fact that we want access to whichever way the access would come is what the students of this country want. And we are more concerned now than beyond 1045. We are concerned about people that are out there who still want to enter the Ghana School of Law. And we want a system that allows that all these people are absorbed and given legal education training in this country.
Yeah. Philemon, I thank you for your time. Let me just have your last say on this. Kweku.
Well, it's a problem. It's a problem that has arisen in the recent years that must be fixed, because we cannot continue to frustrate students. We cannot continue to, create a situation where people who just want to have their dreams come true end up being thrown out of the door. However, we also must be cautious that in doing this, we ensure standards are maintained, and even beyond ensuring standards are maintained, that we do not more or less put the cart before the horse. But the solution in and of itself shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't create a problem. However, we welcome it, because I myself, I want to go and read a professional course. So it's a step in the right direction, and more ought to be done.
Okay, Kweku, I wish you well with that. But Prosper, you're going in with all the excitement. What are your expectations, Prosper, before we wrap up?
Well, the intention now is to go to school and then all of that. But then subsequently, it is just my and the expectation of all those others who have made it that we are going to have comprehensive legal reforms when it comes to legal education in Ghana. And I do largely agree with the views expressed by Philemon, that though we have been able to make some strides at least this year. I mean, if you compare what happened this year, 1045, to last year's 128, we can see that at least we have made some progress. And a journey of 1,000 miles, of course, will always begin with that. So we do hope that many of those structural bottlenecks that have been expressed will be resolved, so that those of us going in now will not really have an experience that will not be all too unpleasant. Yeah, well, that's what I have to say.
Okay, congratulations to you again. I wish you well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on this conversation. We still have the National Science and Maths Quiz coming up, the semi-finals. 3 clashes we're bringing to you live here on Joy News. Thanks to our partners, Bright Senior High School in Kokorin, Tumi DBS Roofing, Papa Parfie, Adonko Hand Sanitizer, and Adonko Next Level Bitters. We'll be at Legon, the business school, live shortly with Maxwell Agbaba. Stay with us.